So, today I wanted to talk to you about an important topic for anyone that's studying and working for themselves, being entrepreneur, or just creating their own business, and that is setting boundaries. So, let's get started. If you have been watching me for a while, you know that I have transitioned to working for myself a while ago. And I wanted to share with you my perspective today on something that's really important in terms of being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and especially if you are in real estate, this is key. And this is setting boundaries. The reason why I'm saying setting boundaries is so important to you as a business owner is because a lot of people who transition to a career of real estate or any type of entrepreneurship, they're used to kind of like this 9 to 5 schedule where everybody that knows you knows that they're not able to access you during the time frame of 9 to 5 because you are in the office and you're available when you come home from work after that. The minute that we start being entrepreneurs and we work for ourselves, people automatically assume that we are available anytime, anywhere to do whatever anybody asks us to do. And we live this life, this Instagram life, where we are sitting in coffee shops, drinking coffee, the millionaire lifestyle, where we can do whatever we want, anytime we want. And this is completely false because actually, when you're starting in entrepreneurship, especially in real estate, the time put into work is so much more intensive than working just a regular 9 to 5. Just think about it. When you're working a 9 to 5 job, you get in, you do what you have to do. The 5 o'clock bell rings. That's it. You leave. You don't even have to think about your work most of the time. But when you're working for yourself, you no longer have a boss over you, and you're the one calling the shots. You're the one that has to motivate yourself, set goals, set your schedule. You're the one that's managing you. So why I'm saying that setting boundaries is important is because people will take advantage of the fact that we are so freelance based and flexible. Let's say somebody says, your aunt calls and says, take me to a doctor's office because you're home, you're not doing anything. Or, your significant other says, let's go shopping because you're home, you're not doing anything. This is difficult. And in the beginning, it's really important to set these boundaries with your friends, family, and significant others, because if you don't, they will not respect your time. And time is of the essence when you are creating your own business. That's why I suggest something called time blocking. When you time block your schedule for the time that you want to work. Let's say you want to work from 8 in the morning till 4 o'clock p.m. You time block this on your schedule. And then what you do is you communicate this to everybody that you know. You do this nicely, but you do it firmly, and you specify to them that this is important to you. And if they are supporting you in your endeavors, they have to respect this boundary. This means that whatever they need from you, they can ask you when you're done with this time block. So if you time block it from 8 to 4, they're not to call you or ask you to do things during that time frame. Once you communicate these boundaries to your significant others and friends and family, you have to stick to your word. You can't just one day say, you can't call me or ask me to do things for you from 8 to 4 but then the next week you're out and about with them having a 3-hour lunch, and then they see that they can take advantage of that and they can push you to come out of your boundaries and break them. So you have to be consistent, even though sometimes you might not feel like it and you might feel guilty. You have to be consistent, even if it means that if you live in a household where people have to abide by your rules and putting a sign on the door, do not enter. I know it sounds silly and strict, but sometimes in the beginning that's needed in order to kind of get them used to your new schedule. I actually had to do that. And because people don't understand, they think you can just work all day long. And for me personally, if I don't get stuff done from the morning till afternoon, around 3 or 4 o'clock, I become already tired and sluggish. And then if I break my own rules, I'm gonna end up working till midnight, and that's not the quality of life I'm looking for. So be consistent with setting the boundaries, stick to your words. That's why it's important for you to take charge of your schedule and write it out. I did a video about creating your own schedule before. It's really important to communicate that to your friends and family, that you have a schedule and you're going to stick to it. When you're not working, that's when you can follow through with your family. So you're not really dissing them or saying to them, hey, listen, you're not important to me. You're just restructuring your time frame. So, once you communicate all the boundaries to them, communicate to them. Don't ignore them, and they're not going to be understanding what's going on with you. You disappeared from the face of the earth. Communicate to them, hey, listen, this is my new schedule. I'm not available. I have to make my goals during this time frame, and I'm finishing my work at 5 or 4, and then I will get to you. This is so important, and it's so simple, and so many people overlook it. Nobody's a mind reader, and no one is going to know what is going on in your life. All you have to do is communicate to them nicely and firmly that you will get back to them, but it has to be on your time and on your schedule. And believe me, they will respect you more for communicate this to them and for setting these boundaries rather than you just jumping at their every beck and call and doing whatever they want. And the last thing that is really crucial is setting into your entrepreneurial adventure and creating these new schedules. It's so important to practice daily mindset for yourself, because it's one thing to communicate this to everyone that is around you, your family, friends, but it's another thing to also make sure that you're the one that's also practicing what you're preaching. So sometimes in the beginning, when we're transitioning into a new career, especially, it's tough to get into this new mindset where, you have to constantly remind yourself to set your own schedule, create your own goals, stay on top of things, sticking to your word, your plans. So practicing daily mindset, and my suggestion for this is to do this in the morning. Write out a journal for yourself every morning, what kind of goals you have, even if they're small little goals, and practice daily mindset, even listening to something inspirational, maybe a podcast or a YouTuber, or reading something for 5 to 10 minutes. And practice this mindset daily so that you stick to your word, that you know that you're treating your business as a business, that your real estate job is not a hobby, your new entrepreneurial job is not a hobby. It's your livelihood. It's what you do. Even if you're blogging or whatever you're doing, this is your job. You're the owner. You're creating this. This is important to you, and you have to reaffirm it to yourself that this is so important to you, that you are willing to break certain rules in order for this thing to work for you. And in the end, if you practice this method of setting boundaries, being consistent, sticking to your word, and remaining patient, things will flow the way they're supposed to, and your mind and body will quickly get used to the fact that you are living according to these boundaries and schedule. And you will be surprised, people that try to push your buttons and try to take advantage of your time eventually will learn that they're not supposed to talk to you during the times that you're busy or bother you. And eventually they will learn to respect you and trust that what you're doing is important, because that's important to you. If you have people in your life that are not willing to respect your boundaries, maybe it's time to decide whether or not these individuals are even worth keeping around. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I have inspired you in some way. For more content, check out my website, caramelchic.com. It's a lifestyle blog geared specifically for women. And stick around for my next video coming up shortly. Thanks so much.